Ever sit at a family gathering and think, how am I even related to these people? Is there a secret adoption story no one's told you? Because somehow you just don't fit. Hi, I'm Angela, and if you've ever felt like the outsider in your own family, let me just say it's just not in your head. In this video, we're going to dive into why some people naturally feel like outsiders in their family. And no, it's not an accident. Hidden family dynamics that push you into their black sheep role, why your emotional intelligence might actually work against you in a dysfunctional family, and how to stop feeling like you have to earn a place where you were supposed to belong all along. So let's get straight into it. Why do you feel like the outsider in your own family? Maybe you think differently, you process emotions differently, you have a level of self-awareness that others just don't have. And in a dysfunctional family, those things make you a bit of a problem. You see through the unspoken rules, you notice patterns that others perhaps ignore. You don't blindly accept that that's just how we do things. And in a family system that relies on denial, enmeshment, and also unspoken agreements, guess what happens to the one person who refuses to play along? So they get labelled as the outsider. Now, here's the thing. Dysfunctional families operate on unspoken contract. Unspoken rule number 1, don't talk about the real issues. Unspoken rule number 2, go along with the family story, even if it's not true. Unspoken rule number 3, whoever refuses to follow the script becomes the villain. And that is where you come in. So if you've ever been accused of making things different, translation, you're questioning things that they don't want questioned. Perhaps you've been accused of being too sensitive, translation, you actually feel emotions instead of numbing them like everyone else, and always trying to be different. Perhaps, translation, you refuse to blindly follow toxic patterns. Then congratulations, you are not the problem. You are the emotionally evolved one in a family that thrives on emotional suppression. So if you've spent years feeling like the outsider, how do you actually stop internalizing it and start owning it? So one thing you can do is stop trying to prove that you belong. If your family operates in dysfunction, they need you to be the outsider because it keeps the system intact. You will never be enough for people who need you to feel less than in order to maintain their power. So instead of fighting for their approval, just ask yourself, do I actually want to be included in a system that never valued me? What am I hoping to get from them that I could start giving myself? And who are the people who already accept me without any conditions? And the moment you stop auditioning for a role that you were never meant to play, you reclaim your power. So you can rewire your subconscious to release the guilt. And here's the tricky part. Even when you know your family dynamic is toxic, you might still feel guilty for pulling away. And that's because your subconscious mind still believes, if I was different, they would love me more. Maybe if I just tried harder, I'd finally feel like I belong. Something must be wrong with me. But actually, none of that is true. And I've used hypnotherapy to help many people reprogram those beliefs at the subconscious level. So you stop seeking validation from people who are never capable of giving it. And it helps you stop feeling responsible for fixing the family dynamic. It allows you to detach from the guilt that they've trained into you. And it lets you actually feel the peace without needing their approval. Find and build your real support system. So here's the best part. You don't have to keep chasing love from people who withhold it. Because belonging isn't something that you earn. It's something that you feel when you're with the right people. So go and find your people. Connect with people who see you for who you really are. You might have some of those in your life already and you know who they are. And stop waiting for people who have already shown you that they're not capable of giving you what you need. Because the best way to stop feeling like the outsider is to realise that you were never meant to be inside that family dynamic to begin with. And at some point, you just have to accept that you weren't switched at birth. You aren't crazy for seeing through the dysfunction. And your ability to think, feel and evolve is actually your superpower. So if they want to call you the outsider, then fine. Be the outsider who actually heals. Be the outsider who stops repeating toxic cycles. Be the outsider who builds a life that actually feels good. Because trust me, peace is better than forced belonging. If this hit home for you, just let me know in the comments. And if you're ready to reprogram your subconscious and step fully in who you were meant to be, then let's talk. And subscribe for more real talk on healing, breaking cycles, and finally living for you. Thanks ever so much for watching.